Hey there, everyone. Today I'm going to be talking about the language of the subconscious mind. It might not be what you think it is. For anybody wanting to delve into the world of self-hypnosis, and even if you're not, this is important information to understand because your subconscious mind is always recording. It's always recording and it's paying attention to what you're talking about, thinking about, listening to, watching, and everything. And what it does is it takes all of that information, all that sensory data, and it translates it into its own image. And then that information gets encoded in the brain as neural pathways. So what is the language of the subconscious mind? Well, it's imagery. Now that makes sense, doesn't it? And you think about it because, little babies have been downloading information and recording information in their subconscious minds, since birth, if not before, long before they had language acquisition. So this is important to understand for a number of reasons. So let's talk about this a little bit more. The subconscious mind, then, if it's when it creates a new habit for you, and when I talk about habits, I'm not just talking about physical things you do, like the habit of smoking or the habit of eating chips. Our thoughts are habits too. Did you realize that? We have many, many, many thought habits. We actually even have emotional addictions, but that's another video. So let's stick with this one today. That the subconscious mind, when it hears an idea or it has an idea, it translates that repeatedly, it creates a new set of neural pathways for that, and then that becomes a habit. And this is why we have habit thoughts. It's because we have focused on the same thoughts repeatedly. And it could be that we have just been telling ourselves the same story over and over, or somebody else has been telling us the same story over and over. And through that repetition, that gets encoded in the neural pathways as a new habit. But let's talk about this in a little more detail. How does this work? Because all of this programming in the subconscious mind is not based on language, it's based on imagery. So what happens is that your subconscious mind takes the words, turns them into the image, and then uses that to program the subconscious part of your mind or to create those neural pathways. Now, here's what's important. There are a handful of these words that it just throws out. There are certain words, certain processes it cannot process. Did that make sense? Let me explain. It cannot make an image. Remember, it's using imagery here. It can't make an image of you not doing something. I know I've heard that before, and it's so weird. Let me explain that a little bit more. Let me use an example. I work with a lot of people who come into me to quit smoking, right? So, and I know what they mean when they say, I want to quit smoking. You know what they mean, right? You want to quit something, you want to quit something. But here's what happens. When your subconscious mind hears you say, I want to quit smoking cigarettes after dinner every night, guess what? It cannot make a picture of you not doing that because you just said that. So it throws out words like don't and won't and stop and quit. And it makes a picture of all the rest of those words, makes a little image, and that is what gets programmed. So with my smokers, I'll say, what do you want to work on today? And they'll say something like that, want to quit smoking cigarettes after dinner every night. I'll say, you know what? Your subconscious mind just made a picture of you doing that very, very thing. So here's the solution. We want to start using language that creates the imagery of what we do want to experience in our lives. Now, when I ask my smokers, I'll say, so, okay, I get what you want. I know what you want. I'm no dummy, but I'm not the subconscious mind. It just made a picture of you smoking. So here's the question. If you're not smoking cigarettes after dinner every night, then what are you doing? You know what most people say? They say, I don't know. I don't have a clue. I hadn't thought of that. Well, how on earth are you going to create a new habit, a new behavior, if you haven't even thought about what you want instead. Now, that just seems as obvious as it can be, but it's not. That's how our brains work. Think about it. If you decided that you wanted to build a new house, and you called the engineering or the construction firm or whatever, and you said, "Hey, I want a new house," and they said, "Okay, well, let's sit down and design the house. Let's make a blueprint of this house." So, how many levels? One or two? You want a basement? You want a garage? You want it attached? You want it not attached? How many bedrooms, bathrooms, et cetera, et cetera? How would it be if you said to them, "Well, I don't know. I hadn't thought about that. I just know I don't like living where I live now." Your subconscious mind has to have a blueprint if it's going to make a new behavior. So, a word for the wise: start paying attention to your language and thinking about what kind of imagery you are feeding your subconscious mind with the words you say. Do you say to yourself things that are very well intentioned, like, "Gosh, I really want to stop yelling at my kids all day"? Because if you said that to yourself, your subconscious mind just made a picture of you yelling at your kids all day. So the question becomes, what do you want to do instead? How can you word that? Can you say something like, "I really want to find it easy to get in the habit of speaking respectfully to my children all the time"? Now, that is an image I can embrace. Think about it. Start paying attention to it. You'll notice it in yourself. You'll notice it in other people more than you will yourself. But if you have little kids, this is so, so important, because whatever you say to your child, their subconscious mind is making an image of that, and that's what they're going to follow. If you tell your kid to stop playing in the street, well, guess what? They're going to see themselves playing in the street, and they're going to be compelled to do that. I mean, I'm not saying you're going to, run out there. They're no dummies, but what else could you say instead? Could you say, "Hey, I really love that you stay in the yard where you're safe and I can see you"? Now, that is a beautiful image, and that is what you want them to do. So, start paying attention to your language. And remember, it's not just the words you say, it's the thoughts you think, because your subconscious mind doesn't know the difference between really doing something or pretending. And I have another video on that. All of my videos, I have links to a lot of the stuff that I do down below in the description. If this has been an aha moment for you, if you've gotten some value out of this, do me a favor and hit that subscribe button if you haven't already. Thank you for doing that. Hit the notification bell, give me a thumbs up, all that jazz. And yeah, let me know if there are any particular videos or subjects that you would like to see me talk about, because I can pretty much talk about anything under the sun. Everything is connected to the subconscious mind, to the law of attraction. It's all related. We are all connected, as is our behavior. So anyway, I hope you enjoyed that. I hope it made sense to you, and I hope it will make some positive change in your life soon. Thank you, and I'll see you at the next go round.